if you ask me, I don't want to fight this guy because he's like, we know each other, like a Muslim, and he's from Dagestan. You know how it's Dagestan, Chechen people, like, it will be like a lot of drama and the internet, all these shit things. So I don't like about it.
Kind of guy like Khamzat, like, man, you got to be a Olympic caliber wrestler to scrap with that guy.
Yeah, and it's like, I tell people, like, I'm not going to go out there and straight beat Chimaev in pure wrestling. Like, it's not going to happen. I'm not stupid, but it's MMA.
Khamzat Chimaev breaks down why facing Nassourdine Imavov doesn't fit his current path or priority. After reviewing Khamzat Chimaev's recent interview, Chael Sonnen noticed that Khamzat has discussed several possibilities for his next fight, including moving up to 205 pounds and mentioning fighters like Alex Pereira. While Chael found these ideas interesting, he was surprised that Khamzat still hasn't finalized an opponent. This uncertainty is unusual because UFC matchups are typically arranged quickly, leaving fans and analysts curious about who Khamzat will actually face next.
He mentioned wanting to go up to 205 pounds and throwing out Alex Pierre's name. He was very, very open to ideas, and I like those ideas, by the way. But how come he doesn't know who he's gonna fight? That was the thing that most surprised me. Does Chimaev not know that? How is that not clear? Is there an opponent floating around there for Imavov, by example? I haven't heard of it. I haven't read, that he's been called out by Paulo Costa. I haven't read that Imanov's been challenged by Bo Nickel, which is exactly who I think Bo Nickel should challenge. I wish that I had heard that call out, but I haven't.
Moving to that, Khamzat Chimaev explains that he and Nassourdine Imavov have trained together before, mainly doing wrestling and not full MMA. He says they know each other well and have a good relationship, which makes the idea of fighting him uncomfortable. Khamzat adds that because Imavov is from Dagestan, online reactions often turn dramatic, and he doesn't like dealing with that type of tension. This background shapes how he views the matchup.
My wrestling skills, but I don't know his striking skills. It wasn't MMA. I was there, I just tried to help him. He's a good guy. I know him, like he knows me. We know each other. If you ask me, I don't want to fight this guy because he's like, we know each other, like a Muslim, and he's from Dagestan. You know how it's Dagestan, Chechen people, like, so it will be like a lot of drama and the internet, all these shit things. So I don't like about it. But if you see wants it, so I never gonna say no.
Khamzat then says he still won't refuse the fight if Imavov really wants it. He even told Imavov's manager he's open to it, whether it happens now or when he moves up in weight. For him, the decision depends on what Imavov and the UFC choose. Khamzat also mentions other possible opponents like Strickland, but makes it clear he just wants one more fight before going to light heavyweight.
But if you see wants it, so I never gonna say no. If the guy wants it, I tell his manager as well, hey brother, if Mamo Nassourdine wants, I will be open. If he says he can wait till I move up, I will be waiting. I'm not gonna say no, I wanna fight this guy, so for me it doesn't matter. Whatever he decide, she decide, we'll see. There is a lot of other guys as well, Strickland win against him, so maybe they can do rematch, or I can fight Strickland, or I can fight the leader, or I don't know, whoever.
Moving on, as talks around potential matchups continue, many fans have shifted their focus toward how quickly Nassourdine Imavov is improving. Recent clips from his training sessions have highlighted the technical growth he's making, especially in the areas where timing and sharp reactions matter most. With more analysts paying attention to his overall progress, one detail has stood out more than anything else and continues to spark new discussion. On the other side, Khamzat Chimaev has also been making headlines as fans watch his progress closely in the gym. His latest training clips show not just his skills, but also his physical development, which has caught the attention of analysts and fighters alike. Observers are noting how much stronger he looks, creating anticipation for his next fight. This sets the stage to see his new training footage. Meanwhile, Joe Rogan begins by talking about Khamzat Chimaev grappling and wrestling skill. He explains that Khamzat is so advanced that only an Olympic-level wrestler could match him in pure grappling. Rogan notes that even he wouldn't try to out-wrestle Khamzat directly because it would be impossible. Instead, in MMA, fighters need to use strategy and focus on their own strengths to gain an advantage.
Kind of guy like Khamzat, like, man, you got to be a Olympic caliber wrestler to scrap with that guy.
Yeah, and it's like, I tell people, like, I'm not going to go out there and straight beat Chimaev in pure wrestling. Like, it's not going to happen. I'm not stupid, but it's MMA.
Rogan continues by highlighting Khamzat's complete MMA skill set, including submissions, jiu-jitsu, and striking. He points out that Khamzat is very good at spotting and exploiting weaknesses in opponent. Rogan emphasizes that Khamzat's flexibility and all-around ability make him difficult to face. Even skilled grapplers need a smart approach, as Khamzat can control, smother, and dominate opponents who leave gaps in their game.
Hey, could I take him down? I mean, yeah, I could. But there's other ways to approach the fight that I think I have the upper hand. Like, you see how other people have approached him and done well with him. But it's like
you also have very good submissions too. You have a real solid jiu-jitsu game, and you can strike. You know, you've got a very complete package. And I think, you know, the thing about his grappling is that, like, you have that hole. If you have that hole, he's gonna find that hole and he's gonna smother you
for sure.
And
but
you're Bill.
That's what like makes no sense to me with the Dricus fight, right? Like, you're the champion of the world. He took you down.
Furthermore, Michael Bisping talks about how many UFC fighters are rumored to avoid certain matchups. He mentions examples of fighters shifting opponents or stepping away from potential fight. Bisping explains that online discussions often exaggerate these stories. He then transitions to Khamzat Chimaev's interview, highlighting how his comments sparked conversation about fighter matchups and which opponents are willing to face him next.
UFC fighters, they all say that a lot of the other fighters are running away. I mean, where did we start? First of all, we've got Ilia Topuria apparently running from Arman Tsarukyan. We've got Islam Makhachev running from Ilia Topuria. We've got Khamzat Chimaev running from Nassourdine Imavov. We've got Pereira running from Khamzat Chimaev. And we've got John Jones, the greatest of all time, running from Big Tom Aspinall. That is the situation if you listen to all the noise. So where does this all start? Right. So the middleweight champion Khamzat Chimaev did an interview with Brett Okamoto. It's a very good, compelling interview. Go away and read the whole thing. And he said a lot of stuff in there. He said that basically Alex Pereira claims that Chimaev is calling him out because he's more famous than him.
Bisping concludes by discussing the tension between Khamzat and some opponents outside the octagon. He notes that Khamzat's statements reveal his confidence and readiness to defend himself if conflicts arise. Bisping also points out that some fighters seek bigger names, but Khamzat remains focused on his path and next fight. This provides insight into the dynamics of UFC matchups and the personal interactions that occur behind the scenes.
He's a good striker. He hits hard, but in an MMA fight, he would take him down and control him.
Because everyone knows this guy is not my level, you know. So yeah, he's a good striker, one of the best strikers. I give the respect for him. Brother, like, ask whoever, 99% in the world who's watching the UFC, so they're gonna tell you who is gonna win.
Now, you never know. Maybe there is a case of that, but I don't think it's that at all. Apparently, Pereira and his coach Glover Teixeira said that when they see Khamzat in a hotel or something, it's gonna go down. This is according to Khamzat.
We want John Jones, big name. But Chimaev fight that guy there. If he fights that guy, I'll bet my house on it. I'm retired, Chimaev, but I'm around. You mess with me in the lobby of the hotel, anywhere you see me. You mess with me, I snatch the life right out of you, man.
Adding to that, Khamzat Chimaev starts by talking about a potential fight with Alex Pereira. He says it would be a good matchup for both of them, but fight isn't set yet. Khamzat feels that instead of discussing training or grappling differences, the focus should be on an actual UFC fight. He explains that Pereira accepted other matchups, but now seems hesitant to face him directly.
Everyone knows that UFC knows that, but UFC don't want to give this guy from me, you know, so. And the guy say, oh, I come to you jiu-jitsu, wrestling, grappling, I don't know what. So this grappling, jiu-jitsu is not our job. Our job UFC fighting, you know. So don't say no for me. And he said he can't fight with Duplessis. He accepts the fight.
Khamzat then addresses claims that he calls out Pereira for attention or because Pereira is more famous. He disagrees, saying he already has his own popularity and doesn't need to rely on another fighter's name. Khamzat points out that Pereira and his coach may try to downplay the matchup publicly, but fans clearly see it as a compelling fight that everyone wants to happen inside the octagon.
Knows that UFC knows that, but UFC don't want to give this guy from me. So, and the guy say, "Oh, I come to you jiu-jitsu, wrestling, grappling. I don't know what." So this grappling, jiu-jitsu is not our job. Our job, UFC fighter, you know. So don't say no for me. And he said he can't fight with Duplessis. He accept the fight, but now he say like, "Oh, it comes out not good fight," you know, like. And he say, I use like
He's more famous.
yeah, he's saying like he's more famous than me. That's why I'm using his name, bro. This guy, if I just say hi in my story in Instagram, I make more views on his fight. So I don't think so. This guy more famous than me, you know.
Yeah.
And him and his coach, what's his name?
Plinio. Teixeira. Love it.
Teixeira, yeah,
Oh,
Teixeira.
Teixeira.
Furthermore, after Khamzat Chimaev and Alex Pereira's back and forth gained attention, analysts started weighing in on the situation. Kairou's bros discuss Khamzat's perspective, noting that he believes Pereira is avoiding a fight with him. They also talk about Khamzat's plan to have one more middleweight fight before moving up to light heavyweight. Their insights explain the reasoning behind Khamzat's approach and why some callouts may or may not happen.
Khamzat has pretty much said Pereira is running away from him, and he pretty much predicts he'll have one more middleweight title fight, and then he wants to go up to light heavyweight.
He said that he puts up an Instagram post and it gets more views than Alex Pereira's fight. So he's going at him now personally.
Great Chechnyan trash talk.
And I feel like he will fight one more time at middleweight and then go straight up to light heavyweight. He does whatever he wants.
I mean, I just don't think he'd be doing enough if he just fights Imavov once and then goes up. I think you gotta fight the next contender after that. But regardless, if he earns it and he wants to go up and it's gonna sell, go for gold. But to say Pereira's ducking you is crazy. What I think it is, Pereira sees John Jones as a bigger money fight and wants to have that fight.
He's going up to heavyweight to face the greatest of all time. So to say he's ducking you is a bit harsh. It's a viable excuse.
Then, Chael Sonnen talks about Khamzat Chimaev and Alex Pereira, saying that while both fighters are respected, the situation now feels personal. He explains that when Khamzat first mentioned Pereira, he wasn't fully focused on middleweight and was still considering other weight classes. Over time, as Khamzat committed to becoming a top contender at middleweight, the matchup with Pereira became more serious and gained attention from fans and analysts alike.
Everybody likes and respects Alex Pereira. Everybody likes and respects Khamzat Chimaev. But it feels personal. It just does. When Chimaev started this, it felt nothing. As a matter of fact, just for timeline, when Chimaev started this, we didn't know that he was a dedicated middleweight. The first time Chimaev ever talked about taking on Alex Pereira, he was still flirting with the idea of 170. He did some match at 178, whatever that was. Still going to be a top contender at middleweight, and he was speaking from a vein of champ.
Khamzat Chimaev has made it clear he respects Nassourdine Imavov and other potential opponents, but his focus is on fights that fit his career plan. He's ready to compete anytime professionally in the UFC, but timing, weight, and style matter most. Fans and analysts now understand why some matchups happen while others don't. Khamzat's growth in skill and strength makes his next fight highly anticipated. Whether it's Imavov, another contender, or moving up in weight, he will enter the octagon prepared and confident and determined to perform at his best. What do you think? Should Khamzat face Imavov next, or wait until he moves up in weight? Comment your thoughts below.